Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a little bit better day than I had. Um, I guess it could have been worse, but it's a typical Monday. I haven't done good any Monday this year. I can go back to January and then February, the beginning of this month. I either wouldn't have a trade or I'd have a small loss or not even make my daily goal. So really, I probably should have just not traded on Monday based on the history of this year. But um, what can I say? I'm a trader, and sometimes I just want to trade. But my recaps aren't going to take that long, because these trades really weren't all that much to talk about. But I do want to share with you my blog that I wrote over the weekend. I read a book, and it pretty much unlocked the mystery of why I do so well starting over every month, starting with wiring out, starting with a small account. And it's all because of this mindset that, I've come to know as the power of broke. It's you don't have to be broke. You can be rich, have all the amenities in life, but you can tap into this mindset. You can tap into the power of broke. And that's what's helped me grow and keep my focus and keep me studying, hard longer. I'm working harder than the average person who's trying to start out in trading. And it's all due to this mindset. So I wrote a blog on it, and I don't get any kickbacks or anything from you buying a book, but it's well worth it to read it, to read about these other individuals who practically started with nothing and how they were able to pull that focus into making themselves a success, not accepting anything less. So I just wanted to share that with you. You may recognize this guy. If you watch the Shark Tank, he's one of the sharks, and he started from nothing, and he's grown into this multimillionaire. So very inspiring, and I think if you're in the trading like me and you're in the same position I was in, and that I put myself in, every month, I think this book will help you. I think this book will help tap into that power that you have inside of you that you may not have known you had. And if you're using it, it's going to help you use it more effectively and more efficiently, to help you achieve that level of success that you're looking for. So just wanted to share that with you before I got into my trades for today. My first trade was on CMRX. I really didn't have any good tickers to hit my scan this morning. And this is not in the price range that I normally trade. But because this one made a big move down this morning and I was playing with it pre-market, I wanted to keep this on watch because I thought this had a big, potential for me to make some decent money. I mean, it's a $5 stock. I could load up, and if I got, a 1 point move like this again, you know, I could just stop the rest of the week and just sit back and relax. So I was looking for it. What I was looking for it to do was to retest VWAP, and then we get the fade on back down, because I looked for just as strong a move at the open as I saw in pre-market. But this was on SSR, so I had to catch it on an uptick. So I said, well, I'm going to catch it going into VWAP. I didn't want to take a chance on missing it, letting it roll over, and then try to mark it in and catch, an uptick. So I went ahead and got in here at around 528.9. I think some filled at 28, some filled at 29, but my average was 528.5. And got a little move up over the VWAP, but nothing sustained above it. No reason for me to get out. My stop was 36, 536, and we didn't get it. We got 535 on this candle as a high. This high did get to 541. Didn't stay there long, but I got out on this candle here because it just seemed like it was trying to hold VWAP and possibly squeeze and get a push off. Whenever you're in a ticker that is on SSR, you always and has a low float, you always worry about the squeeze. So I was in a little bit heavier than I should have been. I think I had 1,500 shares on this, and so the loss wasn't that much. It was only like 5.5 cents that I lost. So it wasn't that bad of a way to start the day off. This was a solid setup. I was shorting it off the failed push of the VWAP, and eventually it did work. It's just that this thing consolidated for 15-20 minutes. So when I see that, I'm going to get out because you don't know what it's going to do. A lot of times when a ticker consolidates like this, it pops up. But this one just happened to pop down and make the move that I was looking for initially. So I don't feel bad about it. It was a solid setup. It wasn't a mistake. Got a decent entry. So I don't have a problem missing out on that trade. The next one was VFC. And you can see this was a nice setup. Not only do we have a run up here, the RSI is overbought. This thing is like 85, and this is exactly where I want to see it. I want to see it in the mid to upper 80s. And the volume didn't really do what I wanted it to do, but it was going down as it was starting to top and hit this resistance. So I felt pretty strongly about this thing possibly turning. I didn't get in on this candle, thankfully, because this thing went back up to 61.93. But I did get filled here. I was a little bit late getting in, but I did get filled here at 61.65. And this thing just consolidated and consolidated and consolidated right around the 9. I really should have, tried better to catch this, but I didn't. By the time I saw it, it was pretty much gone. I put an order in here at 61.35, and of course it never hit. So, I ended up stopping out here for a loss of 2 cents. And I really didn't feel bad because this was a nice setup. Everything was pretty much in order as to how I like to trade these everything was lined up and set up for me to be confident in taking this, for a top reversal. But just didn't materialize. So, stick to your guns. I didn't let it, go up and stop me out. I could tell that this thing wasn't going to work, and I wasn't going to be I wasn't going to be stubborn and then just give money back. So I went ahead and got out, took the 2 cent loss, and went on about my business. But my last trade was HON, and here's one nice move down. Nice wash, slammed into the support that a lot of people question me about as to how I do it and all of this. But obviously, if you've been watching my videos consistently, you'll see that the levels that I find are actually levels that these things bounce off of. So obviously I'm doing something right. It may not be exactly the way you learned or the way you're being taught, but I found a system that works for me, and it's been adapted from everybody that taught me how to find daily levels. So that's I'm going to continue to do it my way because it works for me. So I was watching this, and this bounced off of this level here. It held on this candle. So what I was doing is I was waiting for a chance to enter this. Let's see if I can blow the 2 minute up. So what I was waiting for a sign on this candle here, to enter on. All right, here it is. It's these candles right here. So once I got one that made a higher low relative to this candle, I went ahead and got in. And I got in at 105.80. And that was pretty much the exact price that I had been wanting to get in, that I was watching. And I felt pretty good about my entry. My stop was below 107. I mean 105.70. So I felt in the driver's seat. This thing popped up, and then this candle opened and it tried to come up a little bit. So I went ahead and took some off at 106.14. Didn't really like the price action. It looked like it was going to be jumpy. So I got in 800 shares here. I took 600 off at this level, and I was going to leave 200 on to see, what it was going to do with the 9. If it was going to turn and push the 9 and start making that run up, I would have added back and been loaded to take profit at these next targets. But didn't work out. Right after I took some off, within a couple minutes, this thing just washed out. Took out this level and this level and came on down, and I said 52 looked like a pretty good 105 looked like a pretty good spot to base this trade off of. And at that time I could have used lower day and gone in, with a smaller size, or I could just go in and just use my 20 cent or 30 cent stop. So that's kind of what I did. I got in at 104.98 and ended up getting a pop up here to the 9, and that's exactly what I was looking for. This pop up here to the 9. And so I took some off here and I left some on. But at 3:30, SureTrader does their margin call. So whatever I had to do, I was gonna wait for the next little pop and take the rest off, so that I wouldn't get stopped out. So I actually got out, here at the same price, 105.47. So I took profit both times at 105.47. I didn't call this one out in chat because I knew I wasn't going to be there. And, I don't like to call out a trade and post an alert that I'm in it and then take off. I don't think that's the right thing to do. So I didn't call this one out, and I just kind of traded it. I got in it and exited on my phone, right before 3:30, so I wouldn't get hit with a margin call or extra fees. So this ticker really didn't do the move I wanted it to, but I was able to scalp a couple dollars off of it to really help me not have such a bad day. Of course, I did make my daily goal, and that's kind of par for the course on Monday. So I can erase this, hit the reset button and start over fresh tomorrow, because I know I'm not going to let it get me down. I know Mondays just haven't been my day. So as long as I don't blow up, I'm happy with it. So that was my day. Pretty crazy, long day. Got stuck in some trades that I had to hold for a long time. I try to be calm, cool, and collected, but sometimes there's something about it that just you don't want to hold it. Too many things can happen. So, that's kind of what happened with me today. So I hope everybody has a great evening. Hit the reset button like I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to start over tomorrow, in the market with a fresh outlook and, ready to nail some good trades. So everybody have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow in chat.